Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama Hare Rama,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki, Shri Gaura Purnima Mahotsava ki, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari
Hari Hari Bol. Gaura Purnima Mahamotsava ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Gaura Premanande. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. Welcome. So now we have a short break and you can go outside and we will be serving Charanamrita, the speaker. And then at 5:45 we're going to continue in here. We have a lecture. And today we have a very special speaker. No other than Gaura Hari Das Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Gaurari, just today I read in Chaitanya Charitamrita that this name was given to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by the women living in Navadvip, because when he was a small child he used to cry a lot, and then the women, they would chant Hari Hari and he would stop crying, so they gave him the name Gaurari. Yes, at 5:45 we continue. Please come, and now if you like to go and take Charanamrit, they will clean up the temple room. Hare Krishna.
This we can цветы. Цветы самхиши. This no. This цветы. This no. This yes. Можете брать. А можно добавить?
Actually, better wardrobe. Wardrobe. There's just. Yes. Raseshwari.
Achtung, bitte, das ist so, das ist auch okay.
Wie sehen ja? Ja? Immer große.
Die hat er mir geschenkt. Natürlich. Man hat einfach ein bisschen Zeug in der Hand, weißt du? Ja, Ui. You can keep it. Thank you.
Sankirtan und so. Aber wo der stehen bleiben.
Krishna, dear devotees. Gaura Prabhu will sing a song, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramure. So if you don't know the song text, I'm sure most of you have a phone in your pocket or in your handbag. You can look it up. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koramure lyrics. And then you will find a website, KK Songs, and you can sing along.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma bina kedayalu Jagata samsare Toma bina kedayalu Jagata Patita pavana etu tava avatara Patita pavana etu tava Osama Patita Prabhu na pai vi ara Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Aha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balokana Koro Ami Bodo Duki Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Doya Koro Sitapati Advaita Gosha Tava Kripa Bale Pai Chaitanya Nita Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Prabhu Svarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Bhata Yoga Shri Jiva Prabhu Lokanatha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Doya Koro Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Ramachandra Chandra Mage Narottama Dasa Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More Toma Vina Ke Dayalu Jagat Sansare Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo
Please come. Please. Sorry. Okay. 3 left. Oh. Okay. Hare Krishna. So now we're gonna have a lecture with His Grace Gaura Hari Prabhu, and I would like to introduce him briefly. Gaura Hari Prabhu, he is Swiss, a Swiss body, actually from Goloka Vrindavan, but Swiss body. And if you believe it or not, but he joined in this temple in the beginnings of the 2000s, and then we lost him. Gaura Hari Prabhu, he was serving for many years His Holiness Sachinandana Swami as traveling secretary, and then later as temple president in Goloka Dham. And now recently he's preaching and taking care of devotees together with his wife, Vaijayanti Mataji. And they just came for a brief visit, and we were able to catch them. Thank you so much for coming. And yeah, Gaura Hari Prabhu, that's the name itself says that the most qualified to enlighten us about the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you. Braucht jemand eine Übersetzung ins Deutsche? Wir werden die Vorlesung in Englisch haben. Bitte meldet euch mit Nein. Gut. Yeah, Russian we have. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Yeah, maybe it's good. I was drinking already. This is good. No need more when I give lecture usually. The tablet is off. Thank you. So I'm a little bit nervous to give this lecture. I see there are devotees who are much more qualified than myself to give lecture, so I humbly ask for their blessings and your blessings or good wishes. I was remembering there is a verse that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is mentioning in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where he said that if we remember Lord Chaitanya, even difficult things become very easy to be done. But if we forget Lord Chaitanya, even very easy things become very difficult. So I think today it will not be too difficult to forget Lord Chaitanya during this lecture, so everything should hopefully go right. I would just like to offer a few prayers to our spiritual master. If you want, you can join me. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes. Therefore, I offer him my most humble obeisances. So we do not have an official verse, but I would like to recite one verse that was spoken by Rupa Goswami that mentioned very nicely about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Maybe some of you know that verse. That's a verse we often recite when we do service on the altar. Anarpitam charim chirat karunaya vartina kalo samarpaitu mutanojvala svarasa bhakti shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratova Sachinandana. May the Supreme Lord, who is known as the son of Srimati Sachidevi, be transcendently situated in the innermost chamber of your heart. Resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, he has appeared in the age of Kali Yuga by his causeless mercy to bestow what no incarnation has ever offered before, the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service, the mellow of conjugal love. So today we will explore a little bit this gift that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving us, this very, very special type of love of God. And I hope that in this lecture we will be able to value the gift that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, and that we get a desire to achieve that goal, that we get some enthusiasm. Oh yeah, that's actually what I want. That's actually the direction for my life. So we will hear first about the reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance in this world, and then we will explore the amazing feelings that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing, and then the key for accessing this mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we start with the reasons for Lord's appearance. I guess many of us have heard it already many times. There is internal reason and external reason, but we'll start with the internal reason, which is like the most intimate or the most important one, we could say. And for that we will have to leave Zurich. We will have to leave our mortal body and be situated in our spiritual self, let's say like this. And I was actually on last Radhastami, I was visiting Villa Vrindavan, and His Holiness Radhanath Swami was there, and we were expecting Maharaj to give the lecture, but finally he did not give the lecture, and Matsyavatar Prabhu was giving the lecture, and he started the lecture. He was speaking about Srimati Radharani, and he said, before I start my lecture, everyone should know that the body of Radha and Krishna are not made of flesh. First of all, when we go into those topics, we have to understand it's not the same like what we experience in this world. It's a realm much different than what we are. So we will try to carefully enter into this very special realm. And before coming to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we will go to Vrindavan Dham. Usually we do the opposite. We first go through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and go to Vrindavan Dham. Today we make a little exception. So in Vrindavan there is an amazing exchange of love between Lord Krishna and the Brij Basis, and all those exchange of love are all the time fresh, ever new. Even though it seems they meet every day, they do every day more or less the same things, but every day is like the first time they are doing it. And what is happening is very often there is, even though they meet with Krishna, there is always a little fear that they might separate from him after some times. We know that sometimes the Krishna is in the pasturing ground with the cowboys, and then they are walking, and suddenly the cowboys cannot see Krishna because Krishna was just behind a tree, and that's already for them too much. Just this small amount, they were not able to see him. So there is a pastime that took place in Sri Vrindavan Dham, and that was happening one day before Krishna will be taken by Akrura to Mathura. One day before it happens. And this is in a place that many of you might know. It's called Prem Sarovar. It's actually on the almost half distance between Nandagram and Varshana. And on that day, the day before Krishna will leave, Krishna was there with his beloved Srimati Radharani, and they were exchanging, they were drinking juice, they were having riddles and having nice words. But at a certain time, there is a bumblebee, a big bumblebee that came and started to make disturbance. The bumblebee it was not his fault. He was just attracted by the amazing sweetness that was happening there. So Madhu Mangal, who was around, understood, oh, here gets a disturbance with this bumblebee. So he started to chase the bumblebee away, and finally the bumblebee went away. And then Madhu Mangal said, Madhusudan is gone. Because Madhusudan is also the name of a bumblebee, but also the name of Krishna. So when Srimati Radharani heard Madhusudan is gone, she thought, it's my Krishna, which is gone. And even though being just next to Krishna, she felt immense separation, and she started to cry and cry and cry and cry. And when Lord Krishna saw that, he thought, what is that? What is this amount of love Srimati Radharani has, that he himself also started to cry and cry and cry, and both of them were crying, and all their tears filled a pond that is now called Prem Sarovar. So Krishna was feeling, what type of love Srimati Radharani has for me. Even the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, they have more love for me than what I can have for them. So Lord Krishna felt, this is not normal. I'm supposed to be like at the top. Here there is something beyond me. I have to discover that. And His Holiness Gaura Purnima Swami explained that in a very beautiful way, how that happened. How did Krishna become Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Although Krishna is the Purna Brahman, the complete whole, self-satisfied and all-knowing, still he wants to experience the love of Srimati Radharani. This is wonderful. So Gaura Purnima Swami explained that Krishna is expert in stealing. So he thought, let me steal this special love that Srimati Radharani has in her heart. Let me steal this special Mahabhav of Srimati Radharani. And he explained that when the mood of separation is there, the heart is becoming very soft, like a wax. So when Radharani was in this feeling of separation, Krishna entered the soft heart of Srimati Radharani. And there is an analogy that is given, is that no one can see how the moon is opening the petals of the night blooming lotus with his hands. In the same way, no one could see how Shyam was opening the lotus heart of Srimati Radharani with his soft hands, and how Shyam became Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is not an ordinary type of love. This is something very special. This Prema Bhakti is most secret, most confidential. It was stolen from the inner chambers of Srimati Radharani's heart. But now, as the most munificent incarnation, Mahaprabhu is giving that special love to everyone. We often hear about love, this love, I love you, we hear love, there love, but this is a very, very special type of love. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is offering to every one of us, and even those of us who are not here. And even more amazing, is giving it freely. Giving means giving freely to everyone. And he is doing that also by giving us the example to show us, by becoming a devotee, to showing us the journey, how we actually can get to this point. So that actually was moving already to the second reason of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance, which is actually to give this love of God. Krishna Prema Rupa Prabhu was mentioning this morning at the end of his lecture, he was mentioning about Kadamba Kanana Swami and the amazing preaching movement that Srila Prabhupada gave us, and how much emphasis and how much all the members of ISKCON are engaged in giving Krishna consciousness. Sometimes we forget that we are giving something so sublime and so special, and that we are also the recipient of such a special and sublime gift that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us. So now we will try to explore a little bit those feelings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I mean, from the beginning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was God, was Radha and Krishna personified, so that's really like a huge reservoir of prema or love, but mainly his ecstasies started to be expressed after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received initiation from Ishvara Puri. There, at this stage, the ecstasies became much more visible on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then even more was happening during the kirtans. Whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will chant the holy name, at that time it will become more and more visible. So we will explore a little bit how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received initiation from Ishvara Puri. But before that happened, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a bit proud. He was a great scholar, and he was actually arrogant. He was actually challenging everyone, and the devotees, they understood, if this Nimai Pandit will become a devotee, wow, the entire Navadvip, everything will be swept by Krishna Prema. There will be no doubt. So they were praying, and sometimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be on the side of the Ganga on the evening with all his students, and he will speak to his students, and the devotees, they will go and they will come close and they will look at him, and then they will speak to each other. The Vaishnava requested each other, hey, please bless Nimai so that his mind will be fixed on Krishna. Then they will pray, oh Krishna, please let the son of Jagannath Mishra become absorbed in you without deviation. Let him constantly worship you in love. Oh Lord, let us have the association of Nimai Pandit as a Vaishnava. And Vrindavan Das Thakur writes in Chaitanya Bhagavat something very interesting and very meaningful for us. He said, the Lord accepted the devotee's blessings on his head. For devotional service to Lord Krishna is attained only by the blessings of devotees. Which give, here we have just like a little hint for all of us who want to make further progress or swift progress. The blessings of the Vaishnava is one of the main component, or the most important component that will help us. There was another instance, was Srivas Thakur, who was actually quite older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And one day he saw Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, in the street with his student and exhibiting all his logic and all his knowledge. And Srivas could not keep it for himself. And he went to Nimai Pandit and he said, what are you doing? Why are you just wasting your life? Where will logic bring you? It's all useless. The whole aim of what you are studying is to become a devotee of Krishna. When will you wake up? When will you become a devotee? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, became very submissive and very humble. And he said, with your blessings, maybe one day I will become a devotee. And then after some times, the father of Nimai Pandit had left his body, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gaya to offer Pinda, to offer oblation to his late father, and there he met with Ishvarapuri. He served Ishvarapuri and he received initiation from Ishvarapuri. And after initiation, Nimai said, kindly show mercy on me, so that I will swim in the ocean of Krishna Prem. Beautiful prayer. We might like to keep it and use it and pray in that way. That's actually our goal in Krishna consciousness, that we swim in the ocean of Krishna Prem. Sometimes we feel not possible. Any one of you sometimes thinks like this is too far, too high, I will never make it. Sometimes we might think like this. We'll come back to that a little later. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was showing a desire, intense desire for the ultimate goal he wanted to reach. So after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's feelings or bhava was increasing day after day. And in his return to Navadvip, he stopped in a very beautiful place called Kananatashala. We have actually a very beautiful ISKCON center just there at the side of the Ganga. And there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Lord Krishna in tree, bending pose, playing his flute. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was just so attracted. He ran to him and he wanted to embrace him. And then Lord Krishna disappeared. And then the feelings of separation were overcoming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then this bhava or those emotions were becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was overpowered by those feelings of separation. He started to weep and shout, "Oh Krishna, oh my beloved, the heart of my heart, the soul of my soul, where have you gone after stealing my heart?" Then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back to Navadvip, some devotee met him and asked him, "How was your time? How was your pilgrimage in Gaya? We heard you were on pilgrimage. How was it?" But while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to explain to them, he was swept away by current of spiritual emotions. He could not speak. Streams were flowing down his eyes. Tremor, which means trembling, tremor, shook his body like a tempest. I hope I pronounce this properly. He said only Krishna, Krishna, and was trying to breathe. Then he started to cry. The devotee was stunned. What happened to our Nimai Pandit? Has he become a devotee? And the next morning they were in the garden of Srivas Thakur. They were picking flower for their deities. This we see often in India. There are flower-bearing trees, and all the devotees go to get the flower for their puja. So they were all there, and the news was spreading through all the devotees. It seems Nimai Pandit has become a devotee. And Nimai Pandit said, "I will tell you more about my pilgrimage. We have to meet tomorrow in the house of one of the associates." I just cannot remember the name of which associate it is, but that's have small importance. Anyone actually will know? It's okay. It's a detail. So then they were all waiting there for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and he tried to speak to them, but he just could not speak. His eyes were swimming in tears. He was half conscious. Then he said, "I found Krishna, but I lost him." Again, waves of spiritual emotion were going through his body. Mahaprabhu shouted, "Ah, Krishna!" and fainted. Then he would wake up. "Where are you, Krishna? Where are you? I have lost Krishna. I have missed Krishna. Where are you?" And he would faint again. And the entire day passed like this. So this is a little episode that shows how strong were those feelings? How strong were those emotions that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was experiencing? And then we know during the kirtan in Srivasangam, those ecstatic feelings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were just beyond imagination. For those of you who once, in the Madhya Kanda chapter 8, Vrindavan Das Thakur gives such a beautiful description of those kirtan and the feelings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We have other places when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Gambhira and Jagannath Puri, where we have so many description and so many explanation of this special love, this special prema that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is willing to distribute to all of us. King Prataparudra was the first time he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in kirtan. He was fully confused and even embarrassed to see the ecstatic love of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in kirtan. He felt uneasy and could not understand what was going on. Hardly anyone could understand the heart of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So now I have a question for you. Do you think we can experience such a feeling? Who thinks we can experience such a feeling? Please raise your hands, those who think we can. Okay, one optimistic person, two. Okay, the answer is yes and no, actually, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the highest feeling that he's experiencing is called Mahabhav, and this is not available for us. This is that's too beyond. But ecstatic love of God, who of you thinks we can be able to experience ecstatic love? Okay. Who of you would like to experience it? Okay, wonderful. But sometimes you are not sure, huh? Sometimes I remember sometimes my spiritual master will speak on that, and he will say, we have to become mad for Krishna. And one of my godbrother went to my Guru Maharaj and said, I'm not sure, I don't think I want to get mad for Krishna, at least where I am now. But actually, all what we read and all those examples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are there to give us an example of the highest type of loving exchange that we can experience. And what I wanted to bring into this lecture is that we are convinced that, first of all, it's possible for us, but not only it's possible, but that's our goal. Isn't it our goal in our Krishna consciousness movement? That's what we want. So how can we experience it? I heard a very beautiful lecture from His Holiness Bhaktivedanta Goswami Maharaj recently, and he was speaking about purity of the heart. He was saying, as much as our heart is pure, as much as our heart can actually reflect the emotions, the spiritual emotions can be reflected from great devotees or saintly person. When we are close to them, our heart can actually reflect their emotions. And we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's first verse of Shikshashtakam speak about Chetodarpana Marjanama. You make the heart clean so that it can reflect those emotions. Then Bhaktivedanta Maharaj speak about some scriptures that are called Nadya Shastra. And there he speak about Sadarani Karan, which is the process of reflecting emotions from our heart. And then Maharaj gave a very interesting point. He said that actually the sign that we have a heart is actually when we are able to reflect emotion of other people. If we are not able to reflect emotion of other people, that means we have no heart, which is quite of an intense point. But this is actually what a purified heart will be able to reflect, not only emotion of other people, but mainly spiritual emotion from sadhus and saintly person around us. Okay, thank you, Gaurari. Nice lecture so far. But how my heart is not clean. So what do I do? How do I reflect anything in my dirty heart? So then we come to the last point of today's lecture, which is how to access into Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy. So we heard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, and one of the most prominent of them was the mood of separation, which is like one of the main teaching that actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us. His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu would often say, if you don't feel any feelings of separation, your bhajan or your chanting is on automatic pilot. Meaning that we need this type of feelings. But still, for many of us, those feelings might be a little bit far away. It's not so easy to access these types of feeling. But another type of mood that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us, which is very easy to, very close to us, is actually a mood of humility. And this is something that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks very, very often, especially in Shikshashtakam, one of the most famous verse or most quoted verse of Trinadapi Sunichena, should be humble like the blade of grass, tolerant like the tree, always ready to give respect to others, not willing any respect from others. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us another instruction to Raghunath Das Goswami, where he speaks in similar language. He said, do not expect honor, but offer respect to others. Always chant the holy name of Lord Krishna, and within your mind, render service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Which is like different layers and different levels. So this is very much Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood that he wants to give to us, because it's very accessible, it's close to us, it's something we can easily train even. And we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was practicing humility, or he was not practicing, he was just like fully humble. How when he became a devotee, he would look at the other Vaishnavas, he will take their laundry, will wash their laundry and iron them and fold them nicely. In Jagannath Puri, he will serve the Vaishnavas all the time with prasad. There are so many instances when he met the sannyasis in Benares. He was just sitting at the entrance where the place for the shoes was. So there are many instances when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, with his own example, was teaching us the importance to develop this mood of humility. My spiritual master sometimes will mention that this flow of blessings is like a river. It is coming from up to down. So in order to receive it, we have to be in a lower place, that where it flows, so that we can receive it. If we think we are great and we are higher, then we just cannot get it. So in order to receive the blessings, we need a certain amount of humility, and then our heart can actually be at the proper place to move forward on our spiritual journey. And there is actually, His Holiness Radhanath Swami will say, humility, he will give a small sentence. He will say, humility is not to think of yourself less. I'm so bad, I'm not so good. But humility means to think of yourself less. That means you don't think so much about yourself, which is very much connected to false ego. That means you don't think so much. False ego means you are all the time in the center of the picture and everything should turn around you. But when you think less of yourself, actually you are away from the false ego and you are actually in this position of humility. It's a very beautiful connection between false ego and humility. And we find it in another saying which comes from Chinese tradition, that said humility is the vision of reality. Meaning, humility is the vision of who actually I am. I am just a small spark. I'm just a small servant of the Lord. So when this humility is coming into our heart, it pushes away all material emotions out of our heart. And one relevant point, I thought, this mood of humility should be imbibed throughout our entire life, not only when we try to chant the holy name, but in our seva, in our relationship with others. The mood of humility should be the background for all our activities in Krishna consciousness, and then it can actually have a lot of power, a lot of effect. Our sadhana, our services, our association will have so much more strength if we are actually tuned in this mood of humility. There were Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami, they were in Jagannath Puri, but they never thought, oh, after all, we are devotees of Krishna, we should go to the temple of Jagannath. We should try to bribe or do something to enter into the temple and see Jagannath. After all, we are Vaishnava. No, they were just so humble. They knew, okay, we have some Muslim stuff in our past. We were not able to go, but they were just staying there. They were just taking the darshan of the chakra, and as a result, Jagannath himself, in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will come every day and give them Jagannath Mahaprasad. So for practice of humility is something we can practice quite easily from our side, no matter how advanced we are in our spiritual life. We can practice by trying to be more tolerant in what is happening in our life, offering respect, offering obeisances. By the way, offering obeisances is such a powerful, you just do it from the body. It's almost like a yoga exercise, but you do it from the body, bodily situation. But if you do it few times, and you add some prayer into it, it's actually very, very powerful way to enter this realm of humility. Tolerance, giving respect to others, obeisances, and prayer. Without some level of humility, we just cannot pray. So if we train ourselves to offer prayer, it's just bound. We have to enter into a position of humility to offer prayer. And those are some small takeaway I thought to add into this lecture of practicing humility. So in summary, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here to experience this highest type of love, and at the same time to make it available to everyone, giving it freely. And we are all here trying to become recipient for this gift of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we need the blessings of the Vaishnava as the ground of our spiritual advancement. But we need also, whatever we do, we need to do it with a proper mood, which is the mood of humility, so that it will have strength, it will have effect. Our sadhana, our practice, our association will have much more effect. It will go much faster if we can be in this mood of humility, in this frame of mind of humility. Good. So that's more or less what I had planned for today, but I might have something more. Up to which time do we go? 7. I don't know if I dare to, but I was thinking to maybe make a small meditation with you. You think it's okay? Yeah? You are ready? Yeah? But before we start with the meditation, I would like to mention a little bit about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's beauty, because that's actually one of his weapons. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his beauty. In the Krishna book, Srila Prabhupada explained Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explained in the Krishna book, when the Rasa Lila is described, Srila Prabhupada explained that Krishna is beautiful, but when he is the gopis, then he becomes more beautiful. And then the gopis become more beautiful when he is with Krishna, they are with Krishna. And in this way, actually, their love is increasing by each other. So with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's like this as well, in one body. So the love and beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is just like all the time, ever increasing. And they are beautiful description. I mean, those descriptions, often when the Acharya mention, they have a mixed feeling, because they try to explain, but at the same time they know there is no material, how you say, comparison that can be done. Is just much more beautiful, that material comparison that we can give. But we can have a little glimpse when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took birth, at the day of his birth. There is a description, I think it's from Kavikarnapur. The child, and maybe we can just do like this, just for the time of the description. I will read it very slow. Those of you who like, you can close your eyes and you can try to see it in your mind's eyes. The child was big in size, healthy and exquisitely beautiful. The color of his skin was molten gold. No one had ever seen or imagined a child like him. His features were extraordinarily attractive. The contour of his body was perfect. His cheeks were ruddy and lips were bright like a bimba fruit. His eyes were slightly tinged with red and were long like a lotus petal. You can open your eyes. Actually, I wanted to make the meditation later, but somehow I felt when we actually the scriptures are full with descriptions. Full with description, and those descriptions are not just to be rush through. It's actually meant for us to see in our mind's eyes. There is another place where we hear about the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that when he was a small boy, he had an elder brother, Vishwarup was his name, and Vishwarup was often associating with Advaita Acharya and the other devotees, and they were in the house of Advaita Acharya. And one day Sachi Devi told Nimai, she said, go and get Vishwarup, it's time for lunch. So small Nimai went there to call Vishwarup, and when he came, everyone was just so amazed by the beauty of Nimai. And here there is another description. Every line of the Lord's transcendental every line of the Lord's transcendental form were pure, delicate beauty. The radiance of millions of moons was insignificant in comparison to the effulgence of the Lord's fingernails. The Lord was bare-chested and covered with dust. So they were actually in Kirtan when Nimai came, and when they saw the beauty of Nimai, they just stopped and just looked at him, and they were just feasting with their eyes, looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then someone asked Nimai, why did you come? And Nimai said, why did you call for me? And then he ran with a smile, and Vishwarup followed. Because they were doing kirtan, they were calling the names of the Lord. And so why did you call me? Therefore I came. I was reading recently also in the new book of Shivaram Swami on Vilap Kushumanjali that there is actually one Brahmana, how was it, from a part of South India, that was the way he was called. Do you remember? No? Maharashtrian, something like this, Brahmana. And when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Benares, every day he had to come and take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he would just look at Mahaprabhu and just stay and look at him. He was just feasting every day with his eyes. And this particular brahmana who later on could not tolerate anymore that Mahaprabhu was insulted by the other sannyasis, and invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to come for the debate. So this is a little bit to mention about the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and now we can make a small meditation. Very, very simple, 100% Vaishnava meditation. Don't worry, I don't make a breathing exercise or anything like that. But you can close your eyes, and before we start the meditation with closed eyes, please think of take a little time to reflect what blessing would you like to have today from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Today is his birthday. On birthday, one likes to offer gifts. Mahaprabhu is very much willing to give you gifts today. So please reflect on inside of yourself, what blessings would you like to ask the Lord for? What do you need in your life at this stage? And now I will read to you some descriptions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that you will try to see inside your mind's eyes. I worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whose beautiful hair is bound in a top knot and held together by a string of pearls. His moon-like face bears the nectar of his gentle smile. His beautiful golden body is adorned with lovely garments and anointed with sandalwood and aguru pulp. He is bedecked with garlands and various glistening ornaments. Absorbed in dancing, he is filled with ecstasy from tasting the sweetness of rasa. He is more brilliant than the God of love, and he is always being served by his dear devotees. Now, with a lot of humility, please offer prayer, offer your innermost desire to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You can open again your eyes. It was a small, short meditation, but I think sometimes I notice, sometimes I go through festival and I did not had one moment of deep prayer. I'm not even clear what is my prayer. And I think that's something to not miss on festival days. I'm sorry, it's not usual that we do such a meditation in lecture, but I thought it has some value, and I thought it's good to add it into it. So I thank you. I think we still have a little time. If you have questions that they are easy to answer, but maybe we could ask Kuntita Prabhu. Would you like to maybe give some reflection about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yeah, very nice.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I enjoyed the class and also the meditations, and I think you're making a very important point, that during festivals, which are the mothers of devotion, Bhakti Janani, that we do go deep in the heart, and these are the opportunities to understand who we are and where we wish to go in our spiritual life. You asked if we believe that we can achieve pure love of God, and whether we want it. We're not always sure we want it. We're not always sure we act in the way that is consistent with wanting it. But actually, for all the devotees, it's inevitable. It is now inevitable for any devotee who has come to the Krishna consciousness movement. We are entrapped by Lord Chaitanya's loving network. The amazing... We see it in the form of ISKCON, perhaps, and the association of devotees and the opportunities to render service in our temples and centres and things. But actually this is all a web of devotion organised by Lord Chaitanya and his associates, which will pass down, from, throughout time and throughout the world. And we're just caught up in it, so it is a really good moment during these festivals to meditate on just how absolutely fortunate we have become to be caught up in this loving network. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, beautiful. May we pass the microphone to Harinamananda Prabhu? I thought it was Harinamananda. Amazing. You look similar. Huh?
Okay. Gaura Hari.
Maybe Krishna Premarupa, would you like also to say something?
I gave the morning class.
Okay.
Maybe Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can we move the microphone? Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Anu. Hare Krishna. Very nice class, Prabhu. I had recently a conversation with Mukunda Datta about this very words, Anarpita Charimjira. And Unnato Chwalla Svapakti Sriyam, we discussed about that. And he said, I asked him what the perfected soul, what we get when we really go so deeply, because Svabhakti Shyam means the love of Srimati Radharani. And I asked, how much do we get it from that love, from that Madanakya Mahabhav, which is even Krishna hankering for that. And he said, up to 80%.
Wow.
He said. Because Mukunda Datta, everybody knows, maybe is in Bracha since 30, 40 years, the head Puchari, and he has the people to discuss these questions. And it has to be seen in context, that he gives it once a day in Brahma, many, many millions of years, and to that degree, 80%. What Prabhu said before, whoever is able to grasp what it means to become sincere and shut all gates to the things that distract us and really take to the chanting in a total crying, shouting mood, that we want to get out of that and get into this. This is, yeah.
Okay, so I don't want to go away from questions. If someone has a question, we can take a little time for that. But if there are no questions, I think we can end like this. It was, I think, a very beautiful note. Thank you for your contribution. And what do? We get a little break until the darshan come, or you want that everyone stay and we sing? Maybe it's good actually that that when the darshan is there, not everyone is in the bathroom or doing other things. So maybe it's better we all stay for the to the darshan. Maybe we sing a little until the darshan, and while we sing, actually, we can keep praying. That's highly recommended. Or we can keep thinking of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu until the darshan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Gaura Prabhu. Gaura Prabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So, I think it's a good idea that we can stand up because we will have arati in 5 minutes. If the ladies can go to the right-hand side, looking to the altar, and the gentlemen on the left-hand side, and please come close so that everybody gets the darshan.
हाय जनो लंबित कुतौ कानका बदातौ संकीर्तनै प्रियकरौ कमलाय दाक्षं विश्वंबर द्विजवर युगधर्म पारौ वंदे जगत प्रियकरौ करुणावतारौ निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौरहरि जय सच्चिनंदन गौरा हरि जय सच्चिनंदन गौरा हरि जय सच्चिनंदन गौरा हरि जय सच्चिनंदन गौरा हरि निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो गौरा हरि निताय गौरांगो निताय गौरांगो Nitai Gauranga Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari. Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Jaya Sachinandana Gaura Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Gaura 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 Hari. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Giba Jaya, Jaya Gaura Chande, Arati ko Shobha. Giba Jaya, Jaya Gaura Chande, Arati ko Shobha. Janavi tatavane Jagamana loba. Janavi tatavane Jagamana loba. Dakine nitai chan Bame gadadara. Dakine nitai chan Bame gadadara. निकटे अद्वैत श्रेणी वास छत्रधारा निकटे अद्वैत श्रेणी वास छत्रधारा बसे अचे गौरचा रत्न सिंहासने बसे अचे गौरचा रत्न सिंहासने आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाने आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गाने नाराहरि आदि कोरी चामर दुलाया नाराहरि आदि कोरी चामर दुलाया संजया मुकुंद वासु गोसदिगाया संजया मुकुंद वासु गोसदिगाया शंका बजे घंट बजे बजे करताला शंका बजे घंट बाजे बजे करताला मधुरा मिदंगा बाजे परम रसाला मधुरा मिदंगा बाजे परम रसाला शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर माधुर
शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर माधुर मृदंगा बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंका बाजे घंटा बाजे माधुर माधुर बाजे जय गौरानीता 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 जय जय सच्चिदंदन गौरानीता जय जय सच्चिदंदन गौरानीता जय गौरानीता जय गौरानीता जय गौरानीता जय गौरानीता जय निताय गौरांगो जय निताय गौरांगो जय निताय गौरांगो जय गौरारी जय निताय गौरांगो जय निताय गौरांगो जय निताय गौरांगो जय गौरहरि जय गौरानीता 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 बाहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला बाहु कोटि चंद्रजीनी वदन उज्ज्वला गाला देशे वानमाला कोरे जालमाला काला देशे वानमाला करे जालमाला शिवा शुक नारदा प्रेम गदगादा शिवा शुक नारदा प्रेम गदगादा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल मातादी विनोदा देके गोररा संवादा मातादी विनोदा देके गोररा संवादा की बजायो जय गौर चंदे आरती को शोभा की बजायो जय गौर चंदे आरती को शोभा जानविता तावाने जग मान लोबा जानविता तावाने जग मान लोबा गौरांगेरा आरती को शोभा जग जन मन 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 लोबा Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshadarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Hari Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh, Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari 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 Hari. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, oh, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Govinda 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 Govinda, Govinda 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 Govinda, Gopala 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 Gopala, Gopala 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 Gopala, Govinda 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 Govinda, Govinda 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 Govinda, Gopala 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 Gopala, Gopala 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 Gopala, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari Bol, Hari Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hari 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 Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namaste. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita, Jaya Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद् भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद् भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन बीबीटी फाउंडराचार्य श्रील प्रभुपादा की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री द्वारका धाम की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की श्री वृंदावन धाम की गंगा मई की यमुना मई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी देवी की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन याज्ञा की गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि श्री गौर पूर्णिमा महोत्सव की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya. Now we are going to sing Narasimha prayer. Please sit down and we will sing. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Pralada Lada Dayine Hiranyakashipu Vakshaha Shilatanka Nakalaye Shilatanka Nakalaye Ito Nisingha Parato Nisingha Ito Nisingha Parato Nisingha Yato Yato Yamitato Nisingha Yato Yato Yamitato Nisingha Bahina Singha Hidayena Singha Bahina Singha Hidayena Singha Nasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Nasimha Madim Sharanam Prapadye Tavakar Kamalavare Nakam Atuda Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanabringa Keshavadita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। अब कर कमल बरे नागा अटुद श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु दानवभृंगा केशवदीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। केशवदीता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह देव। प्रहलाद जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंग। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह देव। प्रहलाद जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंग। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह देव। प्रहलाद जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंग। श्री नरसिंह जय नरसिंह, जय जय नरसिंह देव। प्रहलाद जय पद्मा मुख पद्मा भृंग। Please repeat, please repeat. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha Dev. Prahlad Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringo. All together. Oh, Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha Dev. Prahlad Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringo. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha Dev. Prahlad Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Shri Narasimha, Jai Narasimha, Jai Jai Narasimha Dev. Prahlad Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa. Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev. Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev, Jaya Narasimha Dev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari, Jaya Gaura Hari. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की, गौर पूर्णिमा महोत्सव की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की।
Gaura Premanande! Hari 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 Bol! Please turn the micro a bit. Hari Bol. Dear devotee. I think I have to come a little bit back. Please, 1-2 minutes. Gaura Purnima Mahotsava ki jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Gaura Premanande. Thank you all so very much for coming. And the festival wouldn't be possible without sponsors. Every festival we have always big support. And we would like to take this opportunity and express the gratitude of the deities and all the devotees by honoring the sponsors. Rajmani Prabhu, please, you know who, you have to come to the back.
Hare Krishna, I will also speak in Tamil also. இன்றைய விழாவுக்கு உபயம் செய்தவர்கள் இங்கே பெயர்கள் பட்டியல் இருக்கின்றது வந்து அவர்கள் எல்லோரையும் நாங்கள் அந்த விழாவுக்கு உபயம் செய்தவர்களை இங்கே முன் வருமாறு நான் கேட்டுக்கொள்கின்றேன். Today the prasadam is sponsored by many devotees. I will read the names one by one. Ravindran family Zurich, Paramananda Raja family Zurich. If someone here, please come in the front actually. And Yogeshwara family, Yogeshwaran family Durgao, Anbu family Zurich, Satyaseelan family Arau, Kandasamy family Arau, Sivakumaran family Zurich, Gajendran family Sengalan. Please give a high claps to them. Jayakumar family Zurich, Sivasaktivel family Zurich.
Now all the family members.
Yeah, only family members. I mean, yeah. And Uma Mageshwaran family Arau, Tapindran family Zurich, Haridharan family Arau, Ravulan family Zurich, Dyabaran family Kur, Prema Bhakti Chandrika family Sengalan, Tirtharaj family Sulusan, Haribol. And now I am reading the on the decoration of the altar. Arulmoli Kediswaran, please come in the front. Arulmoli Kediswaran, Haribol. I mean, she sponsored the whole decoration of the deities and also the whole altar, you know. You can give them, I mean, Mataji is there. Some Mataji is there to put the garland. Yeah, this. Bring Yimang. Haribol. Please wait, there are some small present also with them. Prasadam. And Krishnanam family, can I ask them to come here? Haribol. They sponsored the deity dress for today's deity's dress is sponsored by Krishnanam Das family, Ramadas and Ram Priya and Sunitirani Mataji. Please come here. Please give a high clap to them. Haribol. So Prabhuji, give each family one bag. One family. Hey, we will give garland also to him, man. Give back. Otherwise. Yeah. Krishnanam Das.